Good morning. We've talked in the past about the fact that often we used to believe that the older we got, the closer we got to God. It just happened as we aged. We just became better friends, closer, the relationship deeper and more enriching. Well, I was paying attention to the news the other day and saw an interview that Pope Francis had with a journalist. And the journalist was asking questions about what Pope Francis's daily life and routine is like, carrying the weight of the Catholic Church on his shoulders in this day and age. And the Pope was very candid. And he said to the reporter, he said, actually, sometimes I go numb. I hear what's going on in the church and in the world, all over the world, because he, of course, cares for Catholics in every country. And he said, it just is too much to carry for me. And the journalist said, do you pray every day? And Pope Francis said, I do pray every day, and I pray in the morning, because if I don't pray in the morning, I don't pray. He said, then I get caught up in the meat grinder. In the meat grinder. This numbing relationship that the Pope has with the burden that he carries for the Catholics in the world that he loves and wants to provide for can often feel like he's caught up in a meat grinder unless he connects himself to God early in the morning. There's this other story that we know very well, the story of Peter and his friends when they were fishing, and Jesus came upon them one morning, actually it was later in the day, and asked how they'd been doing. How was the success of the day? Had you caught the fish you'd hoped for? And Peter shook his head, disillusioned and disgruntled, and said, no, we haven't caught any fish. Really, our efforts today were fruitless. And Jesus tells him, go ahead, go on again. Go outside. Throw your nets on the other side, rather, and see if you can't catch more. And of course, Peter and his friends do, and they come back with this boatload of fish that they didn't have just moments before fishing the same part of the bay. The point in both of these stories is, and Pope Francis made this further along in his interview, he said really that all of us are like Peter. That every day we sail out in our boat into the day of our life, and we fish in deep waters. We try to make a difference. We work hard on projects. We love in our relationships. We want to learn new things. And depending on all the conditions of the day, that may or may not happen. And often we bring our boats back to shore after a long day, and in the evening we reflect and we say, what really took place? Did I make any progress? Did I gain any ground? It's so hard sometimes to feel like we are moving in any particular direction. And like Pope Francis, we may feel numb right now. The world is in a very difficult, challenging place, and everyone is groaning with the burdens that they are carrying. It was inspiring for me to realize that even the Pope, who knows God intimately, who leads us in ways and pushes us and provokes our faith and our relationship with God to be broader and bigger and deeper and wider than it is right now, often feels numb, not just in the meat grinder of life, but also in his relationship with God. So when you set your boat out this morning or tomorrow, just know that you are not alone in that boat, that Christ is there in the boat with you, making sure that even if your catch for the day is less than you wished for, and the lesson harder learned than you thought, God is present. God is there with you in the boat. You are not alone. Do not be afraid. Do not be frustrated. Tomorrow is another day, and God is there too.